Hi, this is Betsy Hanna, and this is from my Keyboard Harmony Volume 1 book, which is great as a review for advanced students or intermediate students, and also it works very well for brand new students. On these 2 pages you see charts of all 12 keys. We've got the triads here in 4 sets, and then the scales. And we start with the group 1 keys. And the group 1 keys, and you just learn these as C major, F major, and G major. You don't learn key signatures with them. You just know and recognize the chords. So C and G and F are all white triads. So the hand just goes right for it. Looks the same, feels the same. And when we fill in the scale, the C major is still all white. The G is still all white. The F still has an all-white triad, but it's got the exception of the flat in the 5-finger scale. But you want your hand to never touch a wrong note. So you learn those chords. See, I'm on the B flat. And when I go for the scale, I land here. There's not even a question of landing there. Alright, that's the group 1 keys, all white. Then the group 2 keys are the white sides, black middle triad. And you can see the picture, white sides, black middle. D, A, and E. And here's D, white sides, black middle. It still is exactly the same shape as that. So there's our D, white sides, black middle. You keep your hand absolutely set. You just go straight up to A. And you come down on the right notes if you don't move your hand. White sides, black middle, and then you keep your hand set. And you come down and you play the E. So they look alike, sound alike, feel alike. D, A, E. You want to train the hand so that it just always goes into that 5-finger position. Now when we fill that scale in, the D and the A, as you can see here, still only have 1 black key. There's an exception in the E, but they're still white sides, black middle. So here's my D. Here's my A. Now if I keep my hand absolutely set, and you have to stay inside here because if ever you're going to have to play a black key, you've got to be inside here far enough to play the black key. You can't be out here and then have to grab for it, like people try to play in an F and then reach for the B flat. You have to be in here. So here I am in A, and if I keep my hand set exactly like this, don't let anything move or wiggle, and just go straight to the left, put my thumb on E, and no matter what you think, you're going to be over the right note. So you don't want to be wiggling your way off of them. So here's A, keep exactly the same shape, and there's E, and you'll automatically hit the extra black key. So that's the first 6 keys, our all white triads and our white sides, black middle. And then I'm going to just take a little example here of technique. You may be doing different 5-finger patterns, but the technique is going to be the same. I'm just going to take a little pattern here, which just plays the 5-note scale, and then does a little broken chord, bottom, middle, top, middle, bottom. Okay, so you just do that for each key. So you'll be getting the scale and the broken 1 chord in at the same time. But the main thing is to talk about how a hand is going to shape. You're going to shape in what I call a cluster position. So you make, it's really like a fist, but you look here and you make all of your fingers line up. And your thumb's going to be slightly straight and your little finger will be slightly straight. And then you turn it over and you want it to look like a mountain, and you want to see the peaks, the snow peaks on the mountain. And that's your shape. You don't want this, you don't want this. If you start sticking fingers out like that, then you lose that. And the fingers are always tucked back. This joint is always tucked back because the piano is a gravity instrument. You play it by sinking into it, not by pushing yourself away from it. So we get this shape and we just sink into the keys, keeping always this shape. And then I'm going to just drop on individual fingers. I'm going to start with my middle finger. Now look, I'm just going to slightly extend it, but I'm not going to stick it out. And then I'm just going to fall on it. And I'm staying that curved. And I'm going to stay that curved and land on 4. See how the shape stays exactly the same? Stay that curved, land on 2. Shape stays exactly the same. Now with your thumb, you actually want the thumb to be straight with this knuckle out, but you can also back it up to the second finger, so you'll keep that shape. Always you want that. The 5th finger actually is best if it's straight, because if you curve your 5th finger, then everything collapses. But that takes a while to get. But this is the look you always want. And then when you go from note to note, you want to actually sink into that next note. See how the fingers are staying curved? And you're actually rolling into it. You're not pushing yourself away. Then I roll. And I want to get a feeling of make a circle. Now see how my wrist is going around? But even though the wrist is going around, the tips of the fingers stay in the same place. You don't start going like this because you lose control. But you turn the wrist with the fingertips never moving from where they belong, right there. So I can go like this. Now obviously, when you start playing these notes, you have to spread your hand apart, so you have to kind of follow yourself along here. But you keep that and you try to roll across the tips very curved. And then this is a slightly bigger roll because of the skip. So it's and don't forget to be right on the correct note. Now the left hand, you're going to do the very same thing. You get your cluster position. Make sure you've got the mountain and the snow peaks. And then you make sure all your fingers are tucked back except for 5 and 1 can be sort of straight. But then you're going to fall on individual fingers. Here's my 3rd. Keeping that shape. Fingertips still curved. Here's 4. Exactly the same shape and the same sound. Here's 2. Same shape, same sound. Thumb I can let kind of be backed up by that 2. 5 I can have straight so that they'll all be in the same place. And you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to, from tip to tip, your wrist can help you with a little turn, then here's a little circle here. But always keeping that curved finger. And get this first 6 keys like that. So, and don't play them together because you'll just mess up your technique. So just play them alone. So you're going to play C, G, F, D, A, and finally E. So it should sound very even, it should look even, and you should have curved fingers the whole time. Because with curved fingers, you can eventually play very fast. If you start trying to, this will be a mess. So curved fingers, this shape, always close to the keys. That's your start to technique. Betsy Hannah.